Have you watched the Star Fox?
Oh, the
Direct.
The Direct, yes.
Yeah.
Ethan watched it too.
I think we should really quickly...
Okay, so
we have a
we're
little
going
bit
to
of
touch
time.
on Star Fox Direct before we...
Since we have Ethan,
Yes.
and this is the most generations we'll ever have,
Yes.
I want to know what Ethan thought of the Star Fox Direct.
It looks like a very fun game. It looks realistic, but not too realistic.
Mm-hmm.
To keep, like, the Nintendo vibes, because Nintendo games are more cartoony.
Yeah.
But this game was animated, so it would be not cartoony, but not realistic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, like, a middle of both. So it's
Yeah.
realistic, but not, like, not cartoony.
You can see Fox's hair, and he
Yeah.
looks like a fox, but he's not walking around on all fours.
And, like, it looks like a fun game. It looks like a game that people are really going to be speedrunning a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it also looks like a game that will, like, succeed. It looks kind of like if you took, like, a game that was meant for speedrunning
Mm-hmm.
and you mixed it with a game that has a lot of, like, cosmic story.
Yeah.
Like, if you combined Super Mario Galaxy in, like, a game that you could speedrun on, and you put it together,
Mm-hmm.
I think this would be that.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that you're able to go back to the levels
Yeah.
and see how fast you can complete the missions in the levels.
Yeah.
Well, this is a remake of the Nintendo 64 version, which was known to be able to be completed in, like, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But the whole point was to go back and try to beat your times.
Yeah.
And find the tricks.
Well, and that was always, like, because even the original Star Fox, there was, like, it was one of those, like, you pick a path.
Yes.
And then depending on how you play those paths, you'll get to a different point
Yeah.
of the story. I was concerned because the beginning was so Star Wars.
Yes.
It was so Star Wars. But I think that they did find a happy middle ground by the end. I think that this looks really interesting. The fact
It
that
does.
it is a rail shooter, but there are dogfights and stuff on land. This was what we were talking about before, was we have to move away from the GameCube Star Fox and back into space. I think that this looks like it's going to do that.
It looks great. I think the big mistake they made was they opened it with the Star Fox scene from Mario Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And Fox McCloud looks awesome, and there's 2 animation styles in that cutscene. There's him in the movie with the illumination animation, and then there's the anime version when he's having the flashback.
Yeah.
I think both of those versions, like, I don't dislike how it looks in the game, but I think both of those versions look better.
Yeah.
So to say, well, here's Star Fox in the movie, and then show that, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then also, I was a little kind of bummed that they couldn't find a way to get Glenn Powell to voice him.
I was also kind of surprised by that. There seemed to be this synergy with Star Fox in the
Yeah.
Mario movie that, like, I almost assumed, like, not for nothing, it's like 3 days of recording.
Yeah.
And you'll get a ton of money. I don't know why anybody doesn't take up voice acting options.
Exactly.
We found out recently one of the highest earners in Hollywood is Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
for all the voice work he does.
Because he just does so much voice work. And so it's just like, I don't understand why you wouldn't have Glenn Powell at the top of this.
Well, and like for Glenn Powell, for him, I would take scale.
Yeah.
And just say, well, if this game is successful, because I can only imagine if this game is successful after the success of Galaxy movie, that there is going to be a Star Fox movie, and that's going to be his
there being a Star
franchise.
Fox movie regardless. Honestly, like I was talking to Kelly about this before we watched the trailer. I would almost anticipate at this point that we get a Star Fox movie possibly before we get a Zelda movie, just because the Netflix Zelda movie is taking forever. And so, like, I would never have pegged it. I would never have anticipated that it would go Mario, Star Fox. When I was a kid, it was always Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Star Fox.
Yeah.
Kirby, maybe.
I think a lot of it will depend on if they are making a Star Fox movie, when they started, because I'm fairly certain the Zelda movie is done shooting the principal photography. So that I believe it's supposed to come out maybe holiday of next year. So I don't know if they'll get a Star Fox movie out before that.
No, it's true. Especially an animated one takes like 2 years to
But
do.
Star Fox, like, I've never been a massive Star Fox fan.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing the original one on the Super Nintendo, and like, oh yeah, it's controls weird and whatnot. Character models aside, the game looks amazing.
The game itself and the gameplay look great.
Look
and
incredible.
the graphics look great.
Yes.
The direct was very interesting in how it approached everything. I was laughing during a lot of it, and not because they were making jokes, but because there was this earnestness of like, the game comes with controls. You can go left or right, or do a barrel roll, or shoot lasers, or bombs. It's like, yeah, it breaks and boosts. Yeah, I hope it does.
Yeah.
You can choose multiple levels of difficulty, and depending on the levels of difficulty, the gameplay will be either easier or harder.
That is the definition of difficulty.
Yes!
Yeah.
Why are we going over this with a microscope?
You're right. I can't tell if that was tongue-in-cheek or if that was intentional.
I don't think anyone younger than a 4-year-old is going to be playing this game.
Yeah. No, like when they were like, you can do barrel rolls and loops, I was like, yeah, you better be able to do barrel rolls and loops. That's like one of the things Star Fox is known for, is barrel rolls and loops.
Well, and the part that I will give them a pass on, because they're getting a lot of criticism from online influencers or whatnot about it being another remake, because the Star Fox 3DS game was a remake of Star Fox 64. Now, mind you, the graphics were nowhere near what they are in this, but it was a remake. And then they're like, oh, well, why are you remaking it again? They forget the original Star Fox 64 was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Not many kids were like, no, not many people know.
And this might be my own personal biases, but I feel like the original Star Fox is way more well known than Star Fox 64 or any of its other iterations afterwards. I feel like that's the one that people are like, yeah, Star Fox. The original Star Fox with the blocks and the polygons, Star Fox. You know Star Fox.
The only one I think would be close to that, for the different reason, would be Star Fox Adventures, because it's considered a horrific game.
The one where he runs around on the ground.
Yeah, so it's infamously bad, but because of that, it's more well known.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
So I would say from the trailer, it looks to be like a B+. No, just a B for me.
I would say this looks interesting to me.
It could be more. Well, I'd give it a play.
Yeah. My thing is that like I like dogfighting shooter games.
Yeah.
So if it's a good railgun and then you can also do dogfighting, I thought the multiplayer looked interesting.
That did look cool.
I love the camera thing. The way that it, I don't know how it does it, but the way that it overlays the Fox face
Somebody
over.
had made a good point. It's like on iPhones, they have
the filters.
The filters on FaceTime.
Yeah.
It's that, but with Star Fox.
Yeah. But it looks great.
Oh, it looks amazing.
And you can use it on non-Star Fox games.
Yep.
So that's cool. I don't know. I think that this could be good, but it depends. Star Fox has never been known for a strong story. And
True.
so it comes down to gameplay. If the gameplay it gets boring or repetitive, or if you have to save Slippy too many times, or if Falco's too much of a dick.
Yeah.
Like, these are all things that have Doom Fox stories before, so I guess we're going to see.
No, but I am interested.
I'm
what makes me even more hopeful is there was a leak that this game was coming and that Ocarina of Time remake was coming.
I really think it's got to be the way to go.
I think it's going to happen. The holiday game.
People have been egging them on since GameCube to do this.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess looks the way it did because so many people wanted them to just make Ocarina of Time with better graphics.
Yeah.
At this point, how do you not make an Ocarina of Time that if you fail out halfway through, you can play Majora's Mask?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many cool things you can do now. And we're done with the open world Zelda. If you want that, we got it.
Yeah.
It has to be this next.
It would make sense that the Zelda game is coming because this comes out, the Star Fox game comes out in a month. It comes out actually the day before my birthday. But that's their big summer game.
Yeah.
No one has any. We know there's going to be a Fire Emblem game coming this year.
Splatoon.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about Splatoon Raiders. But we know there's going to be a big mainline Fire Emblem game. But that's really it for the mainline games. And then there's this rumor about the Zelda game. That would make sense to be their November game, especially. I do have to also give a shout out to Nintendo and give them credit on this. So everyone had been anticipating the price increase on the Switch 2, which it is going to be going up $50. But unlike Sony and Microsoft, which just said, our system's going up $100, it's happening today. Nintendo says, ours is going up $50, it's happening September 1st. And so they're like, A, that's awesome that you're giving people time. B, I think it's really smart, because I bet they're going to blow through a ton of systems. But honestly, $50 isn't the end of the world.
No.
When you're talking about a $500 system, especially a lot of people are believing that the PlayStation 6 is going to be close to $1,000. Same with the new Xbox.
One.
So if you're looking at $1,000 one of those systems,
Yeah.
and then you're looking at a $500 Switch 2,
that is mobile, that has just as good
Exactly.
graphics to the layman. The other thing is, like, I like that Nintendo isn't... They have the same tariff issues everybody has. They haven't taken the same approach most businesses have.
Yes.
Of, we'll just pass that on to the consumer. They'll pay for the tariffs. And it's like Nintendo is A, suing the U.S. government over tariffs, and B, trying to make sure that there's some kind of mitigation to how much consumers have to pay to cover the cost of these stupid tariffs that aren't working in the first place.
And I gotta say, for all those people who are like, oh, Switch 2 is underpowered, blah, blah, blah. I started Resident Evil Requiem in handheld mode. Holy crap.
It looks pretty powerful.
It runs smooth as silk. Mm-hmm. The graphics are unbelievable. Everything in handheld mode. So I don't want to hear any of this crap about, oh, the system can't. No, system can do just fine. Mm-hmm. And I really think that a lot is going to depend on, because, and I do get, like you said, I give Nintendo credit because the reason why it's going to $50 is because their shareholders are really pushing them to increase the price. I really hope Nintendo sticks to their guns to, like you said, they're not passing it on to the consumer. They are kind of doing it by saying, well, if you want to get amiibos, if you want to get like controllers, like peripherals. That's going to go up a little bit. But even like some of those prices are coming down on the amiibos and whatnot. I really hope they stick to their guns on this because they have made plenty of money.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine the amount of money they made off the Switch timeline. With just Animal Crossing alone and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, those two games alone has made them billions of dollars.
The pandemic made Nintendo all kinds of money.
What's up?
So what I'm thinking is those people who call the Nintendo Switch 2 underpowered aren't really that smart because the Nintendo Switch 2 can run 60 FPS on handheld mode. The PlayStation 5, and for $500 for the Nintendo Switch 2. The PlayStation 5 costs like $600, and if you want to get to handheld, that's an extra like $400. So you're paying $1,000 to play handheld, and the handheld has it has to have a solid connection to the system, but the Nintendo Switch 2 handheld is the system.
Yeah.
So the Nintendo Switch 2 handheld can run 60 FPS indefinitely.
Well, and it's playing native games where you're streaming it on the portal.
Yeah. So you either spend $1,000 to play portable games for the PlayStation 5, or spending $500 to play games on the Nintendo Switch, which you can play most PS5 games on a Nintendo Switch, like Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, Minecraft.
Well, that's the thing.
To me, it just works better.
And that's the thing Nintendo has going for them, though, is unlike the other companies, they're actually putting out a lot of first-party games.
Yes.
Which both Xbox and PlayStation have struggled in this generation with putting out a lot of there's only been maybe 5 or 6 really high quality PS5 games.
There's one
in
a
its
year.
Lifetime.
There's one a year.
Yeah,
he is your son, by the way. That is the point that you make on this show.
I know
very
he is.
regularly.
This is my baby boy.
Just the fact that he starts with, I think those people are dumb.
Yeah,
I think that's you. That's you.
I wonder where he gets that from. I don't know where he gets that from. But yeah, no. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with all this.
Yeah.
And I am hopeful Star Fox, because when it was done, I remember looking at Ethan and throwing out a hint saying that would be a great birthday present.
I love that they have gunner mode. I love that their version of little brother mode is that you can have a pair of controllers and one person steers and one person shoots. I think that's so smart.
Is awesome.
That's so smart. Well, it would only be better if there was a mechanic within the game of you can pick a second pilot for each ship. That'd be cool.
And that's what I think a lot of the older people, like people our age that are kind of criticizing the game for being a remake or looking, the characters and whatnot, it really isn't being made specifically for us. It's being made for that next generation of Nintendo players who went to the Galaxy movie and said, oh, who's the Star Fox guy? And this is the Star Fox. But it's still, I could see them saying, well, we're going to take the game that you love.
Yeah.
And we're going to make it prettier. We're going to make it run, the first Star Fox game to run 60 frames per second or more. It's going to be the first game that runs great. But it also is, we're really trying to get younger kids to get in on this.
And I think that this net is better than the net Marvel uses.
Yes.
Where Marvel has this carrot stick approach of like, you will never get the carrot because the carrot isn't real. The cake is a lie, to mix metaphors. I feel like this net comes out and like, yeah, it's not going to get all Star Fox fans. But someone like me, who played Star Fox a lot as an 8-year-old, who struggled with it for a variety of reasons, who's gotten better at video games in the intervening 30 years. When it stopped being a cutscene and started picking up gameplay, I was genuinely impressed at how good it looked.
Oh, it looked amazing.
And it looks great for a rail shooter. It looks great as a dogfighter. There's still tanks. There's secrets. There's all kinds of things. The fact that you can complete a mission or accomplish a mission.
Yes.
I think that's so smart. I think that's so great. So I think that this could be really fun.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that this is a better way of like, yeah, hardcores aren't going to get everything that they want. And younger audiences, yes, this is definitely keyed towards younger audiences who don't know as much. But I think hardcores can still look at this and find familiarity.
I agree.
And the things that they want in that kind of remake.
And I think they just need to get over themselves and be like,
That
listen,
too.
I understand you want a fresh storyline, but if you're really rebooting a series, which is that this is what this is doing, take the best game of the series, make it look and run better. That's your reboot. Next game will be, like, if this is as successful as I'm hoping it will be, selling 5 to 10 million copies, the next game then will be an original Star Fox adventure, now that the characters have been reintroduced and it's been proven. Because this is kind of what they were trying to do with Metroid Prime 4, and it didn't work out. Now,
forget that when we talk about Marvel next week, and we talk about them not making it for us. Because we're going to make the exact opposite point next week when we talk about the finale for Daredevil. Of just like, you took the most successful version of a franchise, and you remade it in a new image, and the old audience is not satisfied, but the new audience is saying, well, we'll take it. So forget that point that Steve just made for when we discussed Daredevil.
I guess I didn't clarify... I did say it wrong. When I said Star Fox isn't made for us, it is made for the fan because it is just a remake of the best game, but it is that introduction side of it that isn't made for us.
No, there is still an element of take your hand and walk you through.
And I don't want to think about Daredevil until next week.
We're going to get to it!
I'm glad you're going to have cameras on. You're going to need them for this.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, folks, that was Nerd Pod Generation, a very special episode 191. Thank you, Ethan, for joining us, my friend. Someday we'll have to have you back again.
We'll do this again another time when we have another movie that is appropriate for Ethan to watch.
Maybe Avengers Doomsday.
Maybe
Another watch and react to that. But anyways, folks, NerdPod Generations, I didn't do our usual beginning.
Call to action.
So nerdpodgen.com. Please go to nerdpodgen.com. There are links there to... On the main page to our most recent episode, there's also links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts along with YouTube, where Al has been graciously uploading partial clips and also full episodes of our shows. Also, go to NerdPod Generation. You learn a little bit more about us. And then, Al, who else does our artwork and our music?
Our art is by Kortney Howell. Our music is by Brendan Williams and James Connolly. I am Alfred Judson.
And I'm Steve Taylor.
And I'm Ethan Taylor.
Yay! Look at that. A full generational table. Yes! We just don't have any Gen Zers at this table. No Zoomers right now.
Forget Zoomers.
We'll have to put a Zoomer ad out on the internet.
There we go.
Yeah. But in the meantime, friends and enemies, we will be back next week to talk Daredevil.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. The thing that keeps a lot of us going.
Yes, thank you.
Have a good week, friends and enemies.
Yeah! Your first podcast!